about to do an interview with Paralandra for the first time on Talking Music and Other Stuff podcast. We are interviewing a local band, which I'm very stoked for. This is the first time we've done anything like that. Excuse my keys, by the way. It's been quite the morning, but we are here in the middle of Rochester, New York, at the venue, Montage Music Hall, getting ready to do this. So we're going to be rocking and rolling. Got Randy over here from Montage. We're videoing. We're doing some vlog action. Why not? Hey, let's do a little glimpse into what this place is here. Got a stage over there. That's where we're going to be doing the interview. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait for this. This is going to be a live broadcast. And got it all here. Now, mind you, there is a ton of shows that happen here, nationals, locals, so you got all of them right here at the Montage Music Hall. Geez, how about this one? Because I always like to hear what the answer is to this. So I remember one time going to a bonsai. There was a guy crowd surfing. He probably weighed 200-something pounds, and he came crashing down on this girl's head and knocked her right out. And everyone was just like not even paying attention. They're just pretty much trampling her. So we ended up grabbing her, picking her up. She got carried off, probably stretchered out somewhere, probably to the hospital. But with all that being said, I mean, with all the shows that you've been to, whether you've been on stage, whether you've not been on stage, what's one crazy thing you've seen at a show?
Good question.
You want to take that? Okay. So there's, what was it? Water Street, the Wall of Death.
Oh, man.
That was wild.
Wall of Death at the Water Street Music Hall.
Yes.
Who was playing?
It was the Perspectives album release show.
Oh, no shit. A local show?
Yeah.
No kidding. Oh, on the club side.
No.
Oh,
No,
that
it was
big
main
stage?
stage.
Gotcha.
We
do a Wall of Death for our song A Chance to Live Forever.
And, well, you open it about 8 measures more than what it normally is in the song.
Yeah, we do a Wall of Death for A Chance to Live Forever, and that is, to this date, definitely the biggest one we've seen for us. Not the biggest one in general, but the biggest one we've seen for us, and people were killing each other in there. It looked like
it's just like a full-on 300 movie just going on. Everybody
Dude, I'm
just
telling you, man.
slaughtering each other. Yeah, give it up for Paralandra.
That's us. All right, we gotta go.
All right, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, so you saw that beginning portion of the video, right? I went to Montage. We did a interview with Paralandra. I joined forces with Mr. Randy Peck, the owner of the Montage Music Hall.
If anybody ever told you that doing a podcast is easy, they're lying to you.
Been doing it for 5 years. I can verify it's not easy.
Oh, for God's sake. Anyway.
The venue downtown here in Rochester, New York. Let me tell you something. That happened in January. We got together. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, let's collaborate. And now we have Talking Music and Other Stuff podcast. I got into the podcasting world 5 years ago when I started the M-Ball Effect. It's kind of hard to believe that we've been doing this for 5 years, a little over 5 years. And I have this guy come to me and he says, happy birthday. And I go, oh, no, this is not my birthday. This is for a display piece that I need to, make pretty, So now I hear things like, please, dalher, please. I go, why? What are you asking me? And then he starts wrapping an imaginary tie around his arm like he's about to shoot up some heroin. Please, sir, please.
Oh,
Few dalhers, please. I go, sir, I don't carry cash. I'm just a
a guy just trying to do my job. I don't carry cash. I go, I'm sorry, there's nothing to give you. And he's saying, please, sir. And I'm looking at this guy's eyes with like puppy dog eyes that are probably red. They're bloodshot, Austin.
Oh yeah,
They're bloodshot. He's dirty. He probably hasn't showered in a few years. And he's looking at me saying, "Sir, this." Well, he didn't say drug. I don't know if he said drug. I don't know what he was saying, Austin. But I do understand "please" and I do understand "sir" and I understand "dalher." I understand that.
10 years ago, wouldn't have even thought about doing podcasting. Why? Well, it just wasn't my thing. I was more into videos. I was more into photos. I was doing all that stuff. Very different compared to what I was used to. Almost to the sense of, standing in front of the camera and talking to it, but this time on an actual microphone. It's been quite the ride, honestly. Different guests coming in, different crazy events that happened on the show while it was live.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Our show offers all kinds of different stuff. It's like a radio show on steroids, if you ask me. We all have our different personalities. Me and my co-hosts, we all do our thing. I try to keep this channel a little bit more family friendly. I try to. The M-Bomb Effect channel, which you can check out wherever this is on the screen. It might be over here, it might be over here. I don't know. You'll see it. I'll have it pop up. If you're into that kind of thing, you like all the funny jokes and maybe some dark humor and some odd topics, this is the show for you. Oh, and if you like music and bands, and if you're interested in Rochester and world stuff, yeah, it's all there. We have it all. Being on this show as a host, as somebody who's working on a podcast, is a little overwhelming at times. And for some people out there, that might be you. You might be, starting your own pod venture. No, I don't like that one. Podacy. I guess, yeah. I'm gonna go with that one. You might be starting your own podacy, your own journey of podcasting. And you might be thinking to yourself, how do I go about it? What do you mean, how do you go about it? You just pick up a microphone and you talk into it, right? No, that's not how that works. Because there's a lot of different things you need to think about. Here's a tip, and people might tell you otherwise. I don't really care. Don't worry about the gear you got now. Just start with what you got. You know what I started with? Not the same one, but I started with this. A phone. And that's all I had. I didn't have microphones, I didn't have anything else. I had cameras, but I just used my phone. Use what you got right off the bat. Why? Because if you don't start now, you're never gonna start. Let's be honest. You'll procrastinate. You'll go, I don't have that mixer. I have a mixer right here. I got that a few years after I started. Don't worry about that stuff. Worry about the stuff you have now. That's tip number 1. If you're gonna upgrade anything, and if you're gonna buy your first piece of actual equipment for podcasting, my first purchase I would make, going back now, would be the mixer. And my recommendation would be the Rodecaster Pro. I have the Rodecaster Pro 1, the first edition. I have actually 2 of them in my house. I don't know about the second one. I've read a lot of reviews on the second one that I wasn't too keen on. A lot of unfavorable things that were happening with the software. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to get it. But what I will say is the Rodecaster Pro, for me, the first edition, has worked tremendously for everything that I've used it for. So, I mean, it's a little bit lower in price now than when I bought it, because there's a second one out there now. It's probably better for you to get that one. So that's the gear number 1, I would say. As for a studio, I wouldn't really be too worried about it. Just get a dynamic microphone if you're going to be worried about sound picking up other things around you. And that's mainly because it will happen with other various microphones. Get a dynamic microphone. Those microphones only pick up what's close to them. That's what we have in this studio. This place ain't soundproof. So we work with what we got, like I've been saying all along. The studio will come later. Just work with what you got. I'm telling you, that's the only way to go about it. My number 1 thing for you to do is just hit record. Don't worry about all the gear, like I said. And when you do come to it, make sure it's audio based. Don't go out and get yourself cameras right off the bat, unless that's, again, what you're trying to do. Use your phone, okay? I'm telling you, your phone, actually, you can hook up your Rodecaster Pro to your phone if it's USB-C to USB-C. A lot easier that way. Hey, I'm just telling you some tricks that I learned over the years. I wish I knew these a long time ago. I'm not going to try to keep this prolonged. What I will say is this. Going back to it, reevaluating everything, just get yourself to it. Start. Hit record. Don't worry about the gear first and foremost right now. Just get to it. Think about your content. What's your niche? What's all that good stuff? It varies, right? You want to talk about conspiracy theories. You want to talk about crime. You want to talk about everything. Regardless, video games, all of it. We do all of that. I don't really worry about niche too much, just for the sole fact that I like to talk about everything. I mean, one episode is different from the other, and that's the way it should be. That's just my personal opinion. But hey, everyone's got their own goals. Everyone's got their own dreams, and I have mine, and you have yours, and that's okay. We all have that mentality of we need to just do what we want, and that's what you should be doing. At the end of the day, I could talk about podcasting to you all I want, right? You're probably wondering, well, when do I start? Get off this video right now and start, please. Hit that record button. Think about the content you want to talk about. Get some friends together, talk. Get a guest. I mean, if you have remote capabilities, which you might have, then do it. For those of you out there who are thinking, remote capabilities, how do I go about that? Well, I'll tell you what I use. I use a thing called StreamYard. I've been using it for a few years now, and it streamlines my streaming to different platforms, up to 3 I think on the membership I have, the subscription that I have. I shouldn't say membership, it's not a gym. I would recommend StreamYard. Why? Because I've used it, I know it works well for me, and you can do remote capabilities. You want to talk to someone in California and you live in Taiwan? Cool, you can do that. You live in New York and you want to talk to somebody in Florida? Absolutely, go ahead, knock yourself out. You can do that on StreamYard, and it makes it very easy. All you have to do is invite somebody, they get the link, they enter the digital studio, and voila, it's already there, they're already there, you're ready to go, and everyone's happy. Now you're ready to record. At the end of the day, what's my number one suggestion? Well, networking. That's my suggestion for everything. I'm talking aside from the hit the record part. I'm talking about networking. I started networking a few years in, not right off the bat. I've met a lot of people along the way. Actually, my first in-studio guest was the same year I started, and that was because that was somebody I knew, and they were great. They were a great band. Perspectives NY. Check them out. Did that, and that whole year was just, it was awkward. I go back and I watch some of those episodes, and I compare and contrast to now, and it's night and day. And you will do that. Another good thing about that whole thing about getting gear after the fact is you get to see where you've come from, and that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that's pretty dope. You're like, oh wow, this is where I started. This is where I'm at now, and it's night and day. Pat yourself on the back. You've done a good job if that's where you are already. For all of you out there who've done podcasting, you know what I'm talking about. You get the anxiety. You're like, oh, somebody's gonna hate my voice. Well, we all hate our own voices, right? I mean, it's normal. Like, whatever, you know. But enough of my blabbering. Podcasting. Start your Podyssey now. I started mine 5 years ago. Still continuing, and I enjoy every second of it. It's fun. You get to break that social anxiety that I've talked about years ago, and you just go from there. You meet a lot of cool people, listeners, guests, the whole shebang. You meet them all, you enjoy yourself, you have a good time, and then you get to tell stories on the microphone, and everybody gets to hear your story and go, wow, look at that. I'm not the only one that experiences crazy stuff. There's other people out there that do. So, you make everyone feel good. Till then, I'm your boy. I'm sorry, not that. You thought I was going to say that, didn't you? I'm not the M-Bomb on this channel, but I am the M-Bomb, and I'm also the Aerobrush. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Peace.